everybody and welcome to my Legion coverage. Today we're going to be looking at the Brewmaster talent choices and the changes and what I think I'll be taking for talents in Legion. So let's get the ball rolling. In the level 15 row we have Chi Burst, Eye of Tiger, and Chi Wave. Chi Burst is unchanged, so has a 30-second cooldown. Chi Wave is unchanged, 15-second cooldown. And now we have Eye of a Tiger in this row. Tiger Palm also applies Eye of a Tiger, dealing 100% of attack power's nature damage to the enemy. It goes on to say, and 0 healing to the monk over 8 seconds. That 0 healing number is something that needs to be watched. If that healing number is even half of Chi Burst or Chi Wave, I can see this being a talent to be taken for self-healing and some extra damage. Looking at these talents, if you want to do some healing to yourself and other party members, Chi Wave looks like the best way to go. But if you want to do some extra damage and some self-healing, then Eye of a Tiger will be the way to go. At the time of recording this video, I think I will end up using Eye of the Tiger for the healing extra damage, and again, even if that healing part is half of Chi Wave or Chi Burst. In the level 30 row, we have Chi Torpedo, Tiger's Lily, and Celerity. Chi Torpedo has had some changes. It no longer deals damage or healing on the torpedo effect. It has a 20-second cooldown per charge. You can do it 2 times. Tiger's Lust is unchanged, 30-second cooldown. Celerity has had a slight change due to Chi Torpedo being in the same row as it. No longer has an effect on Chi Torpedo, but still reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds and increases the maximum number of charges by 1 for roll. It's also a passive ability. Now, I've never cared for Chi Torpedo as a tank, and as long as a Brewmaster still has access to Nimble Brew, I don't see a point in taking Tiger's Lust. At the time of this video, I think I'll end up taking Celerity, unless Nimble Brew is gone, at which point I'll be taking Tiger's Lust. In the level 45 row, we have Light Brewing, Black Ox Brew, and Secret Ingredients. Light Brewing reduces the cooldown on Iron Skin and Purifying Brew by 5 seconds, and it increases the charges by 1. It's a passive ability. Black Ox Brew instantly refills energy, as well as refills Iron Skin and Purifying Brew charges, has a 1-minute cooldown. And Secret Ingredients, Tiger Palm has a 30% chance to reset the cooldown on Cake Smash. That's passive. This row of talents seems like one of those ones I will be changing depending on what group I'm in and what boss fight I'm doing. I like the idea of passive abilities that will reduce cooldown and add extra charges, but I can see the advantage of having that, bam, I need to reset right now on the Iron Skin and Purifying Brew. But if your group needs that Elixir DPS, then that 30% chance to get you another Cake Smash could be a difference maker. At the time of recording this video, I think I'll end up using Light Brewing, but I can see myself changing to Black Ox Brew or even Secret Ingredients. It just depends on the group or how I feel the class is going, or if I feel I need that on-demand opposed to the extra charge. In the level 60 row, we have Ring of Peace, Summon Black Ox Statue, and Leg Sweep. Now, this is the first row that how do I word this? It's the first row looking at the talents that I've looked at. I don't care, mainly because they're taking the Summon Ox Statue from being a base Brewmaster ability and putting it into the talent system. That's making us decide between having our Ox Statue or stunning the enemies. Ring of Peace forms a ring around a friendly target for 8 seconds. Enemy inside this ring that casts a harmful spell or ability will be knocked out of the ring. This is a slight change to the current way the spell works. In the current version of the spell, it incapacitates them. I don't care about knocking them out of the ring over a crowd controlling effect. It depends on how far you knock them out of the ring. This has a 45-second cooldown. Summon Ox Statue puts a statue at a location for 15 minutes, pulsating, threat to all enemies within 30 yards, You can't cast Provoke on it to taunt all enemies near a statue. This effect isn't changed from the current version, has a 10-second cooldown. Leg Sweep is unchanged, 45-second cooldown. Again, I don't like that Summon Nox statue is in the talent system now. At the time of this recording, I will be taking Leg Sweep for most trash mobs in raids and Summon Ox statue during boss fights that have ads that show up. If in a 5-man dungeon, I think I'll be taking Summon Ox statue. It just seems the better choice. In the level 75 row, we have Healing Elixirs, Diffuse Magic, and Dampen Harm. Healing Elixirs is unchanged, is a passive ability. Diffuse Magic is unchanged, 1.5 minute cooldown. Dampen Harm, unchanged, 1.5 minute cooldown. Nothing really changed in this row except for the placement of icons. I really feel we're going to be treating this row the same way we treat it now. The boss we're fighting, does it have high magic damage? If yes, take Diffuse Magic. If no, Dampen Harm. I've never really cared for Healing Elixirs. However, if Legion, we find that our health is bouncing a lot, it might be something to look into. At the time of recording this video, I'll be taking Dampen Harm. Unless the fight has high magic, then I'll be going to Diffuse Magic. In the level 90 row, we have Rushing Jadewind, Invoke Nonzu, the Black Ox. I'm just calling it the Black Ox. And Special Delivery. Rushing Jadewind, besides some number tweaks, remains the same. 6-second cooldown. Invoke the Black Ox. Summons Ninzu, the Black Ox, for 45 seconds. Attacks your primary target and taunts it. That taunt thing, I think, will still follow the same effect of not taunting raid bosses. Pretty much the same thing we have with the White Tiger ability now, just minus the ability to attack more than one target. Has a 3-minute cooldown. Special Delivery. When drinking Iron Skin or Purifying Brew, you have a 30% chance to toss a keg high into the air, landing nearby after 3 seconds, dealing damage to all enemies within 8 yards and reducing their movement speed by 50% for 15 seconds. This is a passive ability. Personally, I don't mind this row. I feel we're still going to be taking Rushing Jadewind during trash. I can see the advantage of switching to Black Ox on boss fights for extra DPS, but that Special Delivery talent makes me think I, personally at least, would take that over Black Ox. It may give a slight DPS boost throughout the fight over Black Ox. That will require some testing, obviously. At the time of recording this video, I will be taking Rushing Jadewind for most of the time. And on bosses that don't have a lot of trash, I can see myself taking the Black Ox or Special Delivery. In the level 100 row, we have Elusive Dance, Fortified Mind, and High Tolerance. Elusive Dance, using Purifying Brew, also grants up to 15% dodge for 6 seconds based on the level of stagger damage purified. Fortified Mind, Cake Smash, and Tiger Palm also reduce the cooldown of Fortifying Brew. High Tolerance, you stagger an additional 5% of incoming damage. This row has changed a lot from what we currently have. 2 of these 3 talents have me really excited. The one that doesn't excite me is Fortified Mind. Elusive Dance and High Tolerance make me think very hard about this one, on which one I would want to take for rating. At the time of recording this video, I will personally be taking High Tolerance. My thought behind this is I'm worried to get to that extra 50% dodge with a time to stagger the Purifying Brew just right. And if you don't time it just right to get the full 15%, you're just wasting the talent. But we need to see how much stagger you actually have to purify to get your 15%. So once I see how much stagger you have to get rid of to get the 15%, then I can see myself switching to Elusive Dancing. But until I know that hard number, personally, I can't give up staggering an additional 5% of my incoming damage. I can't pass up a guaranteed versus a, if you screw up, you're wasting it. So after going through all these talents, I feel my selection will be Eye of a Tiger, Celerity, Light Brewing, Summon Black Ox Statue, Dampen Harm, Rushing Jadewind, High Tolerance, and from that selection, only a few will be changed based on boss fights. The only major issue I have with this new talent system is the Summon statue being in the talents. If they will move that back to being a default ability for monks, and yes, I say monks because Mistweaver also needs a talent into their statue. If we remove that out of the talent system, then I feel the talent system for a monk is great. It's just like the other talents I've looked at and I've enjoyed. I will admit, when I first read the changes to Brewmaster, I was worried that I wouldn't want to play the class anymore. I am upset a little bit that my artifact weapon is going to be a 2-hand weapon, since I loved dual wielding on my Brewmaster. But I can get over that. I'm still worried, don't get me wrong. I'm still worried with the overall changes to a Brewmaster. I'm worried that the changes that they're doing to it is what is getting rid of what drew me into the class. I enjoyed the complex, okay, watch how much stagger I have, okay, I can purify it now because I have enough of this, and okay, now I can push this button because I got this happening. I enjoyed that. If that overall architecture is still there, then I'm going to still enjoy the Brewmaster, even though I'm going to be using a 2H. But the only way we'll find out is getting into beta, trying it out firsthand, hoping that it doesn't kill the Brewmaster. Because again, I really like the Brewmaster. My favorite class since I started leveling it as a time passer back in MOP, and it somehow became my main. But thank you so much for watching. Until next time, later.